What's good, YouTube family? Today I'm going to share with you guys my top 4 stocks to buy under $100. Okay, folks? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a combination of fundamental analysis. We're going to look at the balance sheet and future forecast growth of these companies, then technicals to give you guys your entry prices and the best spots that I believe that you guys should buy. So let's get right into it, folks. I don't want to waste you guys' time. You guys' time is valuable, so let's get right into it. All right, Hood. Hood is the first stock that I would recommend you guys add to your portfolio under $100. Earnings are forecast to grow 18.18% per year, and they became profitable this year. All right, so you guys know all about Robinhood. It is a zero commission, innovative trading platform. All right, they are rising in the crypto world, the option trading world, the retail trader world. You know, Robinhood benefits of a broad society shift toward speculative investing, offering a low barrier entry. All right, so that's the most important thing about this. All right, does it have growth? Yes. Okay, think about it. A new kid turns 18 every year. They graduate high school, and that's when you're able to legally invest and not be under a custodial account. So that is their audience, the new investors coming in all the time. Okay, even older investors. All right, but that's neither here nor there. Brokerage, that's how they make their money. Let's look at how they make their money. All right, so here is everything they do to make money, which is their brokerage, their main revenue stream, and then that's their gross profit, and then their earnings. Okay, and these are all their expenses in yellow. Okay, cost of sales, sales and marketing, general admission. So I do like to look at this. How do they make money? And out of $2.41 billion, they were able to profit. All right, so here's the net profit, $525 million. Okay, and they just became profitable this year. All right, folks. So I'll show you guys their balance sheet, but this will literally reflect their balance sheet. Negative 3.6 in 2021, 2022, negative 1 billion, 2023, negative 541 million. And I'm going to show you guys their actual balance sheet. Okay, so here's their actual balance sheet, and as I told you guys, it reflects negative 3.6 billion 2021, negative 1 billion 2022, and now they're profitable. Okay, folks, so they went from negative $500 million in 2023 to positive in the trailing 12 months. So shout out to Robinhood, and that's what I like to see. Okay, folks, so let me show you guys this as well. Here is the graph of what I just showed you guys. So, you know, we looked at the chart, the fundamental chart, but the revenue is continuously rising and their free cash flow. All right, so I love to see that, and I'll show you guys on the balance sheet how that reflects. But here's the most important part. Notice how they climb from the bottom, steady climb to the top. You see this, and now they're profitable 2024. Okay, folks. So that's what I like to see. I love to see that. Okay, this green line right here, when it hits the 0 mark, it is profitable. And then you have your free cash flow line. All right, they were once profitable and negative, and then they're up, and their revenue is on a steady growth, and they surpass all-time revenue. So the growth is there, as you can see, and I love when companies are coming and rising all the way to profitability, because 9 times out of 10, I won't say 9 times out of 10, but most of the time they continue this trend. They have found their knack, and they're ready to, you know, grow, and their free cash flow is exploding. So that's another key sign that I like about Robinhood. And let me show you guys. So we talked about the free cash flow. We go to cash flow statements, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Look at this. It doubled. So that's why you see the pink line, the free cash flow, looks like it's going at a 90-degree angle, because it went from $1 billion in free cash flow in 2023 to this. So that's all I'm doing, guys. I'm showing you the reflection of the chart, but on the graph. All right, and let me show you guys even more things that we did. Okay, folks. So we got in Robinhood Leaps inside of my chat, and this was 7/8/2024. And I want to go to the chart, show you guys where we entered Robinhood. All right, so 2024, August, around this time, Well, July, my fault, 7. So here we go, around this time. And we just held strong and we're up. That's why you have to buy long dated calls. Now, my recommendation is you could buy now as it's breaking out, but I would recommend to keep averaging in. So it could be every $5 you can average in, every $5 to $10. So it could be 43, or and then it could be 38, and then 33. You get what I'm saying? But I always tell people to average into any stock in 3 increments: entry point, add point, add point, and then you could always add a fourth one, is a load the boat point, which could be a retest of not necessarily all-time highs, because all-time highs during the IPO. I do believe Robinhood will surpass IPO, which is roughly $85. All right, folks. So that's one thing. And then I want to show you guys how much money I was able to make off this. Now, I should have went a little heavier, It's just the market was at all-time highs. And I'm learning. Don't get me wrong. I made 17K, and I still got runners in this as well. And everybody banked as well, because as you can see, people got in this. And I told them a long time ago, I look at the balance sheets. The balance sheet was dope. You get what I'm saying? And I even did a trading video with them as well. So that's what I like about Robinhood. And I hope you guys like Robinhood as well. I showed you guys everything you need to see as far as why you should buy this company and buy into their profitability as they continue this trend. All right, folks, now let's get to the next stock. Oh, and before I get into the next stock, I wanted to show you guys, I love the sweet spot of 10% to 20% profit margin. They are at a 22% profit margin. So that's another thing I like to see, because when people are at a 5%, 1%, 2%, 4%, it's just very hard to trust their future growth. Don't get me wrong, they can keep growing, because even at this point, Robinhood was at a 2, 1, 4% profit margin. But I love when they get to this spot as well. So take note of that as we look at other stocks. What is their profit margin? Okay. Now, the next stock, I'm pretty sure you guys know all about this, but PLTR. All right, earnings are forecast to grow roughly 24%. Earnings grew by 223%, all right, over the past year. Okay, folks. So I'm going to show you guys some things about this particular company. Now, they are a government contracting company, okay? And they are using AI to fast track, everything they're doing. And the government loves their programming, and they have reached some big deals with the government, okay? So this is how they make their money: government contracting, commercials, revenue 2.65 billion, roughly exactly what Robinhood is doing. They're doing a little bit more, nearly 200 million more. And then after all expenses, their earnings are 476 million, okay? So we're going to keep breaking down everything. Now we're going to go to the actual balance sheet, but keep in mind of their earnings. I love to look at people go from not profitable to profitable. So PLTR, they actually gave us a great entry point this year. Honestly, one of the best entry points. But they became profitable mid-2023, 18% profit margin. Remember what I told you guys, I love to see the free cash flow rising, the revenue rising. Everything is on the rise, so it's in great health, okay? Now, something else I wanted to show you guys was this particular balance sheet, which will reflect, as you guys can see right here, they literally went from negative to positive year after year in trailing 12 months TTM. Remember, all numbers are in thousands, so you got to add 3 zeros. So this is positive 476 million, which you will see right here. It will reflect in this graph right here. See that? Earnings positive 476 million, okay? With an 18% profit margin. So I like to go in and look at the technical charts and balance sheets, and they have more than doubled last year. So it's pretty dope, and I believe they will continue to grow. I'm thinking this thing will get to, the 200s, already surpassed all-time highs. and that's good news as well at 45. So anytime they dip, folks, I would recommend getting in at 67, 54, 46 would be my 3 entry points for PLTR. Always average in, never try to get into highs. But remember, if you wanted to buy, if you're thinking long term, you can always get into anything. I look at this exactly like a Bitcoin. You need to learn how to buy into strength. And of course, I told my chat to get in. Even DocuSign, that's another good stock to buy under $100. And I give these guys all the plays. All right, folks. But PLTR made lots of money on this. And I even told him if it comes back down to 24 add area. And even Tesla, this thing is surging. I've always given my plays. And this is in July 7/8/2024. So we just been giving some dope plays, and these things bang, you feel me? They went crazy. I made a lot of money off this, 38K. I'm up a little bit more now because I'm still in runners, but I made a lot of money off Palantir Tech, and we made over 400% on this. Robinhood, we made 155%. So, you guys know what to do. Link in the description for my chats, just $25. But let's get into our other plays that we like, folks. And remember, we have an 18% profit margin. It's in that sweet spot I like, that 10 to 20%. And then if you got 30%, 40%, even better. Like Meta has like a 30% profit margin, if I believe. So yeah. All right. Our third stock, SoFi, okay, which is a fintech company. Earnings are forecast to grow 35% per year. So you're very early. It is a great entry point. Even though they are rising, you can always add into it. Very cheap. You can hold this for the next 5-10 years, and they just became profitable this year. So I'm loving SoFi and the future outlook of SoFi, okay? And we don't have to get into all the metrics and everything. I just believe this is a great steal, a fintech company stock. And to be honest, folks, I don't even have to look at the news sometimes. I can just look at your balance sheet and what your company is about, your profit margin, all of these things, and I can really determine. I can literally look at everything, the balance sheet, and determine if it's a good buy. So here's SoFi. Here's how they make their money: lending, financial service, technology platform, corporate others, revenue 2.56. So notice how everybody's kind of in this range that I like. You get what I'm saying? Under $100. They're all making about $2.4 to $2.7 billion. We noticing the trend here, right? And then here are the expenses, and here's what they earn. So they have a lesser profit margin so far, but that's because they just became profitable as well. Even though Robinhood is killing it, becoming profitable this year too, is still something, and we'll get into this as well, folks. As you can see, these are in millions, so they were negative 317 million, 2020, and here's what they are now, positive 184 million, okay? As you can see right here, earnings 184 million. Look at the free cash flow you see that zero line right here? Now they're becoming profitable. Free cash flow is rising to become profitable as well. Earnings are steadily growing, and that's what you like to see. We want to catch them before while they're at this sweet spot, because remember, Robinhood was there, Palantir Tech was at this same position, and now they're profitable, on their way. They have a 7% profit margin. Looks like they can increase their margins. So looks like we're early, folks. We're early. You see the trend? The trend is going up. The free cash flow is going up, folks. So I do like SoFi, okay? And you guys already know, yes, I called a play inside of my Discord, and I'll show you guys that was 12-12. So notice everything that I'm telling you guys to buy, I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and I'm adding into them. Is it too late to get in a lot of these? Not really, We got in SoFi. I made a little money off of it. Not as much as I would make off the others. That's because we're, just now swinging it. But that's why it's important to do your research and, see what's going on. But now we're up 50% on this particular position. and I like their balance sheet. Like I said, trailing 12 months, they're profitable, just became profitable this year, and I believe in the future growth and outlook of this particular company. And last but not least, we'll get into our last stock. And last but not least, if you're trying to get rich and own an asset that's going to continue to climb for the rest of your life, I recommend getting into IBIT. They are $60 a share. They follow Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at 106. All right, notice how the charts are very similar. Notice how when I toggle my mouse, it's following a similar outlook. You see this? Same thing, folks. It follows it. So that's last but not least. And what I recommend is averaging into this, into thirds. You know, it's at $60, $55, get you some. You know, $50, or you can go down every 10. $50 get you some, $40 get you some, $30 get you some. But I recommend going around $7, so maybe like $53, and then, you know, $45 type thing. So that would be my final one. And this one doesn't really need any explanation other than it's following Bitcoin. And if you want to get into Bitcoin or get exposed to Bitcoin at a cheaper price, you know, this is the ETF, IBIT, you know, trust, I would recommend getting into this. All right, folks, I hope you guys really enjoy this particular lesson. All right, and I do recommend these particular stocks. I even got more stocks inside of my chat, and I call these plays verbatim before you'll see them on YouTube. I'm putting them in my chat. We done already made bank when people finally start talking about PLTR, Robinhood, you know, all these different stocks. We're catching them very early. I caught these in July, and I'm already banking and talking about adding more. So you guys tap in so you can get in these early instead of being in late. And I'll post a link in the description. Hope you guys enjoyed this lesson. And I know you guys enjoy looking at the balance sheet and everything. Leave a comment about what you learned and tap in, folks. All right. God bless.